Hi, I'm Kat Miller. Welcome to Passionate Living. Today we have a really magical show for you. And right here in Western New York, we're going to meet a doctor who makes these beautiful paintings with a syringe and chopsticks. I know, but you're not going to believe what he creates. And he gives so much to his community and the world around with his non-for-profit work, and I'm so excited for someone of this nature to share his passion with you and how he uses it to give back in the world. Then we're going to go out to Santa Monica, California, to my favorite coffee shop and meet with a woman who's bringing feminism back into shamanism. So often throughout our years, we hear about a shaman and we automatically think male, some tribal situation, sharing some wonderful elixir with a group of people. But Maria is going to be sharing with you how shamans were traditionally women before the recent history of the last many hundreds of years. And she's going to talk about the advantages of having the feminine nurturing nature as part of shaman ceremonies. Finally, we're going to hear from Melissa Archer, who's going to share with us today about being active and the importance in our own mental fitness by staying active each and every day. And before we launch into our truly amazing show today, I want to bring somebody on camera who's been a pivotal part of helping us through season 4. We have about 4 or 5 more shows left to the season, and I want to bring on Chuck Anderson and thank him for everything. Chuck, you can do it. He's not dressed for camera today.
Not at all.
But we surprised him, and I'm grateful to you coming on. Chuck, we've been friends for over 35 years now.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, we're not that old. We're only 35, so we met at the hospital when we were born. Is that how it works?
That's how, yeah, exactly. I remember it was cold in there, too.
It was cold, yeah. So I just want to thank you, everybody, all of our viewers, our crew from Passionate Living. Thank you for everything that you've done in providing us with lights at times, with cameras, with your studio here today, with one of our guests on the show today. I mean, you're always there for support, and I'm so grateful to you.
It's always been my pleasure for all these years, because you helped me years ago with my studio, and now I'm giving back to you.
Oh, thank you so much. I just love you, and I'm so grateful to you. So as we launch into today's magical show, welcome to
Passionate Living.
I am here with Maria, and you are an amazing woman. Tell me, we're at my favorite coffee shop in Los Angeles, La La Land. They're all about be kind, be nice, be the person your dog would think you are. So tell me a little bit about your work. What do you do?
So basically, I've been pioneering the feminine way of serving psychoactive medicines for the past decade. Mm-hmm. And basically, I'm a merge between an entrepreneur and a medicine woman that is passionate about empowering people to be, their own healer.
I love that.
So sharing what have helped me along my way. It became a passion of mine and now a profession. Mm-hmm. And so empowering people to heal themselves and achieve their destiny, to thrive in life. It's all possible.
That's beautiful. And I love that you are a female shaman. You do shaman. And traditionally that's a male role.
Yeah.
But you do it as if...
Right.
Yeah.
But actually it's, in a way, it's like traditionally, like kind of in the modern context, because ancestrally, we women, we used to heal with plants and sexuality, and the maternal instinct has a lot to do. We naturally know what to do with fear. We naturally progressive dose.
Right.
We don't put sexuality out of place. So when we look really back, it's only kind of shamanism is misogynist only like kind of recently in
The
a
last
way.
few hundred years.
Exactly. If we look back, this has been our domain since the beginning of time. It's kind of if having the womb give us this companion software, right? That we come with all these gifts, we can say, or that we naturally have all these abilities of the maternal.
That's beautiful. And what is your passion? What got you started in this? Like the short answer. I know there's probably a long journey, but the 2-minute answer.
I think it was trying to find meaning in my own life. My mom is a Freudian psychologist, so I grew up very stimulated but with no faith. And I always
in Argentina, right?
In Argentina. And I always had kind of these, sense that this couldn't be enough, that there should be more to it. And so, just find meaning in my own life and founding it. And then naturally I started sharing with others and I realized, wow, in the process of awakening myself, this is something that applies for everyone else. So kind of, just finding my own sense in life brought me my purpose, and here we are.
Beautiful. Thank you. Oh, that's what. Well, thank you so much for sharing with me today.
Pleasure.
And thank you to our camera woman, who I'm gonna turn the camera around and get a little wave from you.
Big time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And what is your name?
I'm Talia.
Talia. Thank you for being our impromptu camera woman.
What was your
I am here with Dr. Riyaz Hassanali, who you are just such a light. I remember the first time we talked and you shared with me about some of the volunteer work that you do and that you make these amazing paintings with a syringe.
Yes.
Tell me about this. How did this all start?
So this all started about 4 or 5 years ago. I woke up and I had this idea of painting. I just wanted to start painting again, and so I went to the art supply store, bought paints and canvas, came home, set everything up, and then realized, oh my God, I don't have any paintbrush. So I said, well, what do I have available to me? And I had found some syringes and some chopsticks. And I said, all right, let's see what I can do with this. Right. And that began, a passion that I had became a trademark of my own of using needles and syringes and chopsticks for texturing. And I've developed my own style of painting. Right. I use a lot of colors, and my themes are whatever I get inspired by.
Right.
Usually it comes in the middle of the night.
Wow. That's amazing. And you're a doctor?
Yes, yes, I am. So I do cosmetic surgery, and so there's a creative side to my profession, and painting, while I never took any formal lessons, but my patients love it.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. At the end of the day, my patients love it, yes. And it's a conversation piece, and it's just a fun hobby that I've taken on.
I was going to ask you about that. Do you ever sell your paintings, or how does that work?
Anybody wants my painting, they can have it on condition that they have to donate money to their favorite charity.
I love that. That's beautiful.
And so, like last year, for example, I was going to Zanzibar, which is a small island on the east coast of Africa, to vaccinate the local population. They had no vaccines available to them. And so a lot of people wanted to support this project. And a few of my patients took one of my paintings and re-gifted me back with some donations that helped subsidize this project that we were working on. And we ended up doing about 25,000 vaccines.
Wow, that's amazing. And I love that about your spirit, that you have this passion, this creative side, but that you use it to give back to make the world a better place. Because that's the whole premise of our show and what we do, is focusing.
Well, I made a commitment to my dad. In order to be impactful, we were going to do something that was absolutely, needed, like basic things, like water.
Right.
So we started building wells, and then that blossomed into building a school, and then eventually, we ended up doing vaccination and many other projects along the way.
Right.
Zanzibar is still a favorite place of mine, partly because I was born there, but partly because it's paradise. It's one of the most gorgeous islands you'll ever visit. But it's also one of the poorest islands in the world. I noticed that there was a technology gap. And so we've decided that we want to take students, young students, and start educating them on laptops and bringing devices to them. Because let's face it, in a developed country, they no longer use a pen and pencil on a paper.
Right.
So those kids are at a huge disadvantage. Not to mention the fact that once you give them a piece of technology, the world becomes their oyster. They can now see what's available to them around the world. The world certainly shrinks for them. Right. And so they learn language, they learn cultures, they learn, depending on their interest, different cuisines. And so we are encouraging that kind of medium for education. And I learned that from my late father, that the joy of giving was much greater than receiving.
I love that you use what you have to give back to the world. It's so important. And what would you tell somebody that's out there that, I always ask this question to everyone, that's passionate about something, that wants to do something, that they know it's some place inside of themselves that that's a calling for them. And they're afraid. They're afraid to take that step. They're afraid to step out and launch into it. What if they fail? What if it's too big, or I can't make a difference? What would you tell that person?
A smile is charity. So, you don't have to do something magnanimous. A simple task of helping an elderly person and visiting somebody in their home and just keeping them entertained for an hour or two is charity. You're giving back to a person who's lonely, who is in need of company, and so decide what you think you would like to do, and then don't let anybody discourage you. You just go forward, and especially young people. I find that young people have been, especially during this pandemic, that they have been kind of lost. And so when you start giving back to somebody, suddenly your problem becomes less.
Right. I always tell that to anybody when they say they're depressed. I'm like, go help somebody else. That is the best remedy for depression.
Right.
It takes you out of your own process, your own thought process that you've
Right.
fallen into, and it puts you into a place of serving another, and there's nothing more therapeutic. And now these are your COVID paintings.
Yes. Well, I wanted to do something with COVID related, because
Right.
we were inundated with COVID.
Right.
So I wanted to make something fun out of it. And so this was a painting that I did for my son, for his office. And he moved to London, so he didn't take it with him, but it's here for him.
It's beautiful.
And it's a play on different colors, and it's supposed to be a mask. And I used I use my own technique of needles and needles, syringes, and chopsticks.
Oh my gosh, I can't thank you enough.
It's been my pleasure, and I've enjoyed, my paintings. Enjoyed certainly meeting you, and hopefully we can inspire others to not only paint, but also give back to society.
I love that. It's a deal.
Done.
Hi, my name is Melissa Archer, and I'm here today with Mental Fitness Moments. And today's Mental Fitness Moments is staying active. How do we do that? Why should we do that? Staying active allows us to stay healthy mentally, stay healthy physically, and it just releases a lot of warm and fuzzy, happy hormones that gets us through the day. And we're staying kind of fit and healthy. And some ways we can stay healthy is by setting a routine of maybe working out, whatever works for you, and you're in any particular exercises or running, walking, whatever people like to do that doesn't really stress the body too much. Know what you can do. So making a routine, whether it's in the morning or after work. Wouldn't exercise just before bed because it'll keep you awake, and we also want to get our good sleep. So setting a routine of whatever it is, maybe trying to stay consistent with it. Maybe it's every day, every other day, 2 days a week, whatever the case may be. Even if you have a disability, there are exercises that can be done for folks with disabilities. Looking into free exercises or free groups that are out in the community. There's a lot of groups that are usually out in the community doing yoga or some kind of meditation outside, which you're getting that fresh air at the same time. And there's a local gym. You can join a gym, and it's always fun to be around other people doing exercises, and you get that camaraderie of it all, and and that can help you stay motivated. But staying active is really good for our mental well-being. And most people know it's good for your physical well-being, but it's good for that, but also your mental well-being, because it's just you have a routine, and like I said, those happy hormones are released, and you just feel good. Those endorphins get released, and it just helps, as I always say, lower the temperature of our everyday grind of this thing called living and adulting. And even for children, we can pass those skills down to our children. We're role modeling, right? Staying active, taking care of ourselves. So we're role modeling to them, and then we can get them engaged in those same activities so that when they become adults, they can do the same. And it's a nice coping strategy. And then they'll teach their kids. So that's all we have for today. I hope you're out here and finding your physical activity that works best for you. And we will see you next time. I'm Melissa Archer with Mental Fitness Moments. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Passionate Living. And really, truly, your being with us every week as a viewer really has added to make this a much more magical journey for all of us as we explore the world and meet the most amazing people who are living their dreams and using them to make a difference in the world around them. And today, as we're in a space of gratitude, thanking people who've helped us through Season 4, as we come down to our last few shows, I want to thank all of the sponsors who've helped to support us throughout the season. And some of them are with me today. Alpha Stim, who is just the most amazing technology for decreasing stress and helping me to sleep better at night, lowering pain levels and helping with depression. It's just the greatest technology. Also, I am drinking my Ticino, my coffee substitute, which is so much better for my health, my body, because it doesn't tax my adrenals and stress me out like coffee does. Gives me a feeling of being awake, alert, a feeling of elation without all of the negative side effects. And I want to thank Dr. Shatkin, who helped us throughout the majority of the season, and Mark Ahrens, who works with his team, and also Marbon, where my mom is a part of that amazing community for seniors who come together at a wonderful social center 3 days a week, and it has just changed my mother's life. It is the most amazing, light-filled group of people. And to my own home, WBBZ, who is Buffalo's own hometown station, and I am so grateful to be a part of that team and so blessed to have them be such a part of this show. So again, about being in gratitude, it really helps in life as we make our journey through passionate living to open our hearts and be in a place of gratitude. Doors open, people respond differently when we really sincerely are thankful for what we're receiving in life. And please make sure to join us every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and our YouTube channel, which we live stream on every Thursday night at 8 p.m. for the show. You can find past episodes there and also at our website, passionateliving.com. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next week at Passionate Living.